Hey, what's up you guys? It's Maddie Sage. Welcome back to my channel and welcome inside of my great granny's home. Great Granny Ruth has lived in this house in Los Angeles for longer than I've been alive. Like, I'm almost positive that Papa grew up in this house. If you didn't watch last video, I took a 20+ hour road trip from Texas to California. I am absolutely obsessed with the amount of photos of family, friends, and just loved ones that Granny has around her house. It's super heartwarming knowing that she'll never forget me because there's pictures of me literally everywhere. I'm not sure if I've explicitly said this before, but I did grow up a military kid, and when I was little, we lived in San Diego, so I used to come to this house all the time. It looks a bit different than it did when I was a kid. That's just because they did a little bit of renovating and changed up the furniture as Granny got older, but it was so nostalgic being able to be in the same atmosphere. I got some clips of some of my favorite rooms, some of my favorite decorations, and just a lot of vintage stuff such as the phone, the books, and that really big dictionary. I also felt that it was a must include that my mom's wedding photo, which also happens to be the exact same photo that my dad keeps on his nightstand, is very important to Granny, and she put it on display. Overall, I spent a total of 3 days hanging out with my family and just being able to spend time with my Aunt Felicia and 4 of my cousins. Being able to see Granny and both of my grandparents, Nana and Papa, was the highlight of my trip. I typically don't get to see this part of my family for more than once or twice a year, and I haven't seen Granny since 2017. Nana and I stayed at Granny's house with my 2 little cousins who live in Virginia, but on Monday morning we met Aunt Felicia and her 2 little girls to go hiking at the Hollywood Reservoir. We were lucky enough to see some wildlife, and of course, because it's California, the nature was beautiful. We ended up having to hike almost 2 miles before being able to see the sign, and Aunt Felicia was getting kind of worried. But as soon as we got to this bridge, there was a wonderful view, and we were able to take some really cute pictures. There was also a pretty good view of downtown LA, and you could just really see how beautiful the city is. Alicia and I ended up splitting off from the girls and Nana. While they picked up lunch, we ended up hanging out and just spending some time together. And for the afternoon, I ended up going back to her townhome with her and her kids. The cutest dog that's actually has the funniest name. Her name is Queso, and I'm absolutely obsessed with that. Then her daughter ended up taking me on a tour of their complex area, and I really enjoyed how beautiful all of the flowers were. We also ended up running into some butterflies, and that was one of my favorite parts because I'm absolutely obsessed with butterflies, if you couldn't tell. For the rest of the night, we just ended up going to my cousin's I forgot the name of it, but it was a martial arts thing, and I didn't get any clips of it because it was just a bunch of kids and I didn't really feel comfortable. But after, she was super excited to take me to her favorite ice cream place. It was a local shop right by their house, and I absolutely loved the ice cream that I got. I got mango and coconut, and we ended up just going home. Felicia took care of the kids, and later on in the night, I ended up playing card games with the oldest. On Tuesday, we ended up taking a family trip to the beach. It was Felicia, my Nana and Papa, and all 4 girls. We really enjoyed our time. Felicia and I got there early, and we ended up being able to see dolphins at the shoreline. It was super cool, and I got a few clips, but nothing compares to what it was in person. We set up a cute little spot and only the girls and I ended up getting in the water. But fun fact, this was also the same beach that I took my high school senior photos on. I thought it was pretty nostalgic that 4 years later, I'm a senior in college and I look completely different. I feel like a completely different person and I'm 100% happier. We also all ended up going to the local beach cafe. I ended up getting a beer with some lemonade and that was super yummy. I also got some sweet potato fries to snack on, and then these tacos were absolutely amazing. I did not finish them, but they were super filling. And I actually also ended up having a little bit of a meltdown afterwards because I saw some pictures of myself that I didn't super like. However, that's just another story for another time. Wednesday was my last day and I made sure to spend a lot of time bonding with my little cousins. I realized that I really don't get enough time to spend with them just overall in general in our lives, and I really wanted them to know that I am there for them and I absolutely adore every single one of them for different reasons and for their own unique personalities. I spent the morning helping them with glitter tattoos and they ended up having a water balloon fight with Aunt Felicia and I. We spent the whole day celebrating one of their birthdays, early of course, because all of us were there and we just wanted to be able to make her feel special for turning 9. The desserts were super cute and one of my cousins actually ended up taking me to the party store and helping me pick out the decorations for yesterday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Baby Santa's scrapbook! Yeah. This dog looks like Jason. Yeah! I love it! Especially the dog part, and I open it. Thank you for this long ribbon. I'm gonna keep it. It's a box! You got a box! It's a box!
It's a box! All right!
What is inside this?
What do you think is inside of it?
Makeup!
Oh, just what you need.
She ended up opening presents and it was just an overall wonderful time, and because I have to leave super early the next morning, this was our last hoorah. Papa ordered both of us an Uber at I think 5 a.m. and we ended up getting a Tesla. The views were quite immaculate. The sunrise, lol. The sunrise was absolutely beautiful. The palm trees, the mountains. I'm just so jealous that some people get this view every single day. I'm sitting here doing this voiceover and I was about to say that I can't wait to move out of Lubbock, but I know that at this time I couldn't wait to get back home to Lubbock. I think I got to my gate around 45 minutes early, so I took the advice of this little prompter and I went to go get a coffee. My first flight was very short and it was just to go to Vegas, which actually happened to be my first time in Vegas, and I was very, very surprised by 1, how beautiful Nevada was coming in, and 2, the amount of slot machines in the airport. From Vegas to Lubbock, I ended up reading a lot of this boundaries book, which I highly recommend to any of you if you also struggle with setting boundaries or struggle with being a people pleaser. When I landed in Lubbock, I couldn't be more excited. Robbie ended up picking me up from the airport and we ended up having a wonderful time, spending time together when I got home. Basically, this trip to California was one for the books. I really loved every single part of it, bonding with my cousins, seeing the rest of my family, spending time with all of them, being able to celebrate a birthday, and just overall spending time away from Robbie because getting home was also one for the books.
I love him.
Thanks for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned for my next video.